Are all systems newt? 'Tis the dawn of a new season.
Hey guys, Thor and Smash. So Olympus is now on the Nintendo Switch version. We can now play that map, as you guys are aware, and I wanted to do this video a day or two ago, but I want to thank you to everyone who supported me through everything that was going on. Now, let's move into the video. We're going to go ahead and give you some Olympus tips and tricks, especially when it comes to ranked, but also some things on the map you guys might not be aware of, and also how does it run on the Switch? What's been the performance that I've experienced so far? We are also going to have a tie-in in regards to the Olympus map, so get ready for that. Along with that, we're going to be giving away our second Pro controller today, and I'll be announcing the winner in this video. So let's get into it. As always, we have to go over who was first, and that was Soars, who is also known as Void Ani. We've also got Elite Biscuit here, and Andy. So congratulations, you guys are just way too fast. Now, I went ahead and I got this map made for you guys of Olympus, and it has all the high tier, uncommon, and common item areas. Now, the purple is going to be rare, the blue is going to be uncommon, and the white is going to be regular common items. Also, on the north side of the map, you'll see cargo hold. Right below that is where the Pathfinder town takeover is. That's not on this map. I couldn't get it to work just right, but this is how it is currently set up in the game. Now, some areas you're going to want to be aware of is Oasis and Bonsai Plaza are very, very hot drops. However, it really only has blue loot items except for two small patches that have purple for the rare items. You're going to want to kind of avoid these unless you're looking for a lot of fights, because you're also not going to get a lot of great loot here. Out of every drop here, Estates is usually the hottest. It has the most amount of people coming here. It's kind of like Skull Town for anyone that remembers it. So you will get into a ton of fights here, but there is also high tier loot here, so it kind of makes it worth it. Some of my favorite places to drop are actually the Rift, Orbital Cannon, and Elysium, as I find that those areas have that high tier loot, but it allows me to move into the center of the map as the ring progresses, allowing for a good rotation. You'll also want to be aware of the center of the map where it says Hammond Labs. Now, everyone at some point or another seems to get stuck at Hammond Labs, Turbine, or Research Basin right in that area. For some reason, the congregation of all players at some point meet there, and if you are looking for fights and kills, that's where you go. Otherwise, you can use it as a third-party central. Everyone goes to these areas at some point during the game, and it gets absolutely packed and smashed with players. Once again, that's why I like to go to Orbital Canyon, Elysium, or Rift, as I can make my way there and not be at the center of that and get clapped from 360 degrees. But there are some ways to move around the map very quickly that I'm going to cover right now. Now, the first thing with movement on the map is you're going to notice there is something called a phase runner. And if you look at the Rift, you'll see a blue tube, and it stretches all the way past Energy Depot, Hammond Labs, and Estates, and it ends there. And there's three different sections of which you can go in and pop out, and I'm going to show you right now how those work. Now we have the phase runner right here, and this basically works like a giant wraith portal. While you're in it, you're invulnerable from gunfire. You will not take damage. However, if it is within the ring, you will still take ring damage. Now, as you come out, you will be as if you are coming out of the void, and you won't take any damage. So it gives you a time to set up Watson traps just like this to prevent anyone from following you. But if they do follow you, you will get an alarm prompt and it will glow orange. This gives you a time to heal, go back, and then re-engage in the fight, or just move across the map to go ahead and get out of the storm. There's a couple of different methods, but it's a very useful tool if used right. Now, another thing with Olympus is that it has vehicles unlike the other maps, and it is called a Trident, and you can fit 3 people in it. The downside is you can hear it coming from a mile away like my team did, and you, if you hit anywhere on the Trident, will damage the entire team, not just the person you shoot. It's not recommended unless you're just trying to get out of zone, because most times good players will hear you coming, they'll prepare, and they'll do massive damage to your entire team and wipe you out. Something important to know on the map is you're going to find these things called mrvns, and they look just like Pathfinders. When you click on it, it will give you a white, blue, or purple face, and that is the type of loot it will give you. You then can destroy it, and upon destroying it, it may drop a gold arm. It will then ping a location automatically on your map, and you can go ahead and see that. If you take your gold arm to that mrvn bot, it will then give you a gold item. That is important to note in regards to the mrvns on this map. The other thing with Olympus is this place has holes everywhere. You need to be very careful when looking around at where you are going to land, because if you don't, you're going to run into a situation like I did right here. I can take out the teams just fine, but the problem is that once I am on high ground and I try to reposition myself, there's a lot of holes. all over. So unless you can see the ground, I highly recommend you don't drop off of anything high, otherwise this happens. One really cool point of interest on this map is the Pathfinder boxing ring. Now, as soon as you go into the ring, it disables your gun. You cannot fire in here. It is a melee only zone, which is a ton of fun. And here is where one of my giveaways is going to tie in. See, next week on live stream, we're going to hop onto a private server with anyone that wants to join, and we're all going to duke it out in this boxing ring. I will just be spectating while everyone else competes, and the winner, and I'm going to do a couple rounds of this, will either get a battle pass for this season or next season, or 1,000 Apex coins if you already have a battle pass. So get ready for a fun giveaway where we're all going to launch here and have a giant melee brawl. I hope I see a lot of you there. I think this is going to be really fun, and I can't wait to give some people some awesome battle passes. Now, in terms of how Apex Legends runs on the Switch with this map, I went ahead and I got some footage and I played some games. And I've got to say, once again, I'm pretty impressed. I actually think this map runs better than Kings Canyon, especially with the amount of assets that they have put onto this map, because it's absolutely cluttered. Now, the resolution doesn't get a bump. The frames aren't going to get a massive bump either, because it is still the same port with the same limitations. However, as you can notice, even looking around, it looks a lot clearer, and my game isn't having the frames per second drop that it normally does when dropping from the ship. Everything seems very detailed here, especially considering, like I said, the amount of assets that you simply have on a map like this. As you're going to see, I'm going to be running around. I don't have a lot of frames dropping. I don't have a lot of pop in and pop out, except for some minor textures. Everything seems to run much better here. I will say that the loot pool seems very low. You'll also notice I'm running around here with my friends, and I cannot find any weapon for the life of me, but overall it runs really well. The main thing for Switch players on this is going to be learning the map, because it is very different from Kings Canyon. You're not going to be able to play this map in the same ideas and direction and gameplay style that you would on Kings Canyon. There's a lot more boxes to cover. It's a much more wide out spread area to cover. You've got a lot of ground, a lot of buildings, a lot of dipping and ducking. Overall, I'm very happy with how this map performs. I think Respawn once again did a great job, and I cannot wait to see how World's Edge plays, because we should be getting that in around Season 9. The winner of the Pro Controller for today is going to be Neo Enza. He has won the second controller out of 4. I still have 2 more to give away in the next 2 videos, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subbed if you want to go ahead and win that. You guys let me know what your experience has been so far on Olympus and how you're liking the map, and I really hope I get to see you all in that tournament in the boxing ring so that I can give away some battle passes or 1,000 Apex coins to you all. Until next time, Legends, keep slaying in the Outlands, and I'll see you out there.